Nope, PM parterre. So here's another really good example of why we don't do parterre, because gut wrench is a lot worse when the guy's in parterre. Okay, so before what we were doing is we were coming in and we were attacking the arms. You can also attack the legs. You can do the forearm and the near leg. Now what we're going to do is literally we're just going to attack the center. Okay?
Which side are you going to roll to that side?
Yeah, I'm going to roll.
Okay, I'll come over to the other side then. Okay.
Okay, so I usually like to start mine from a good right. Makes it a little bit easier, okay? So as we come through, I'm going to get a good tight grip on him, okay? So we can come through from like a spiral, just come across the waist, right about where the ribs start, and you squeeze, okay? And then I'm going to duck my head through this hole as I go through, and as I roll, I use that momentum to pull him over, and that's the wrench part, okay? So I'm not going to come right here on his waist because I lose all the momentum. I'm going to catch him right where the ribs are because it's harder for him to wiggle out of it then. If I come too high, again, I'm going to lose all that momentum. So right where the ribs start. With the gi, it makes it easy because you've got that seam usually right there, okay?
So your right hand is really coming around, hooking the torso,
Right.
and you're really basically doing a Hadaka Jime type grip on his gut.
Right.
Okay.
Right, and there's other ways of doing it. You can come through and you can get like an S grip, you know, you can go a butterfly grip. I like to get that Hadaka Jime grip because I can put my elbow into his hip as I'm coming through and really torque, okay? So as we get this, the head goes through that hole and then I wrench him over.
Oh, good.
Okay?
Now from there, notice he's got side position. Okay, now you've got position, you can kind of do what you want to do. Often the quick thing is just a good quick hold, some kind of a hold, catch for time, see how he works there. Now he's got the position to work, okay?
Okay. Now, it works just as well when the guy's on elbows and knees, but it takes a little bit more whip this time because he's not up like this on you, and he's not giving me as much space to whip my head through. Okay, so I'm going to compensate by coming a little bit more on an angle and reaching through and getting that grip. Okay, so it's almost like I'm cheating a little bit on the roll. Okay, head comes through again. One more time. Okay, so again, I come over here, more of a standard ride, cheat a little bit so I'm on the angle or the bias. And when my hand comes through, I'm going to be a little bit more on the front because I don't have the space that I did when he's in parterre. Okay, duck your head through. You want your cheek or your temple right there on the side as you slip through. Okay, slip through, roll him over, come up, and ride. Okay, you can also go for more Koshikatami, hold them on the hips. Okay, it just depends on which way you like to roll.
Now let's do the one where you're standing, the really nasty one. Okay. All right, this is especially good. Here's the setup. Sometimes Derrick or maybe Eric has tried a throw and Derrick did a hip cut, knocked him down, blocked him down, whatever, and bam. So one of them down, he's down temporarily, and this is a really good way to get the gut wrench, And again, when we were talking about earlier, this is the way actually Greg Gibson did on the guy in the Sambo Nationals. He was actually doing a standing, and he squeezed so hard the guy was tapping out on the way over. But it was from a standing ride, basically. So yeah, and that was a nasty gut wrench. So here we go, guys. So go ahead and coach him through
With
it.
that, okay. So as I'm here, maybe I've hip cut him down, okay, or I've snapped him down, or I've picked him up and flopped him back down. It doesn't really matter. He's dumb enough, he's gotten on parterre. I'm still on my feet. So that's going to give me way more momentum, okay? So I come through as I catch that, okay? And then I just flip right through. It's almost like I'm trying to get this way, like not exactly horizontal because I'd have to step over this way. I'm almost going to be aiming right there, and then I whip my head through, okay? Catch, catch.
And that's basically the gut wrench from a standing ride. You could do it if he's on elbows and knees, but practice on high parterre because it does help you get the technique better. But show him if they did get it on elbows and knees. If he was, you could still get the same thing.
Yeah, still the same thing. Usually what I'll do is I'll put a knee on him, catch through, okay? And then I'm gonna hit him, or I can pop back up and roll him through, okay? But the important part is your hands are right there on the ribs, you're squeezing as you go through.
And like for Judo or Sambo, any sport where we do a lot of throws, this is really a good one because you could like do a hip cut. And can you kind of demo that? Eric, come in like you're doing a throw, and come on like you're doing a throw, and Derrick's going to hip cut you. Bam, hip cuts you, knocks you down. There you go. See how you can put it together. So, you know, make it a real fluid thing, a transition from standing. So, there you go. So you can see the nice gut roll, or the, you know, gut wrench. Okay, we good? Let's give it a try. Gut wrenches are a lot of fun, at least for the top guy doing them. Okay, so here's another gut wrench I picked up again watching Greg Gibson back when he was doing Sambo. And this is probably standard, probably Greco style of gut wrench. I don't know that much about Greco-Roman wrestling, but I do know what I saw work in Sambo, and this is where it works, where I first saw it. Now, if you got your bottom guy like Eric is there, he's hiding, you know, really that's the worst place for him to be, but he thinks he's safe for whatever reason. Okay, now, if Nick wants to do a gut wrench, or he's good at it, or he just wants to turn the guy, he's choosing to do a gut wrench from here, okay? And you can do it when they're on belly down, okay? They don't have to be parterre or elbows and knees. They can also be belly down, and it's probably even worse if they do. So what Nick's going to do now, notice the ride. We were working this earlier. His ride's off the right, or off Eric's left, but off his right. Notice the knee across here, because what he's going to do with that right knee across the buttocks and the high upper leg, now he's going to, with his right hand, he's going to reach under, and he's going to catch. And so, remember, if you start your ride, you want that right knee here, guys, like this, that blocks it, and your right arm too, okay? Now, he's really sucked in tight. And he's just got a nice gable grip or square grip, Hadaka Jime grip, whatever you want to call it. See that? Now, Nick has two things he's going to do. He's going to pop Eric's hip off the mat just enough, and as soon as he clears that mat, he's going to gut wrench him. Right there, like that. Now, and he ends up flipping him over, and he got side position, okay?
You like that?
You like it, don't you? All right, so down he goes, boom. Catch your ride now. Make him pay, and like Don was talking about earlier, you squeeze so hard, that's why we call it a gut wrench. You make it very, very uncomfortable for the guy. And by doing it, kind of, Nick, as you kind of suck him in and pull him up in tight, and that brings him up high. See how? The higher you can get him off the mat, the better. And he pulled him up into a parterre position. And aren't you guys glad you weren't the ones taking that shot, huh? All right, so we got that? That is a gut wrench. That's a nasty gut wrench. So we've done a high parterre when they're on elbows and knees, and then now when they're flat. And this is a particularly nasty one. Make them pay for going flat. Okay, really, the worst place in the world, if you're in a match, whether it's Judo, Sambo, Jujitsu, MMA, you name it, is flat on your belly with the other guy on top of you, just beating the snot out of you. Okay, well, life really sucks if you're that bottom guy. So this is a reason life sucks, because of a gut wrench like this. Okay? All right, let's try that.